Some sentient sessions, caught back in session. I have a message for you. Are you ready for it? Hello, some sentient sessions, caught back in session. I have a message for you. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? Right? Hi. I'm just gonna get right into it. I'm pulling angel cards. These are I love these cards because they have really beautiful, beautiful messages. What do I want to say? Like, before I start these cards, I want to start it off by saying, like, stay focused on what you know is right for you. Stay focused on what you know is right for you. Always stay focused on what you know is right for you. I feel like when it comes to like things that I truly want to do with my life, there be like projections and they be just so not for me. Like, there's things that I enjoy doing that I realize people feel like shame about or feel unsure of, like they were never quite sure, and they start to project that back, and it's just like, no. I feel so like it's important to feel very certain in your path and what you got going on, because be free. Yeah, it's so important to stay focused in your path and what you got going on, because there's people who feel bound to certain things. And I say that especially with reading, right? This is what I do, and this feels good. It resonates best with me, and life reflects that this is my path. But when the more that I wish to do more in regards to my path, like public speaking, the more that I wish to be myself, be authentic, do everything that's meant for me, the more I see projections of, I guess, confusion or projections of me being wrong. Or I know when I'm wrong. I know when something isn't quite for me. I feel it in my body. But it's like, if you don't feel so certain about your path, it's easy to mistake it as alignment. And I've been there before with certain things. Like, it's so easy to mistake it as an alignment, but sometimes it's your past or projections that were instilled in you calling back for you. And it seems, because that's the design of it. It's the design of it for it to seem like fear. It's supposed to instill you with so much fear. If you're trying to escape something, or you're not, well, not, let me say not escape something, but when you're trying to get away from something that you know is not healthy for you, it calls you back. And I also think of it like as a form of like mental slavery, some type of enslavement, spiritual enslavement, emotional enslavement. I'm calling it what it is. Call a spade a spade. Spiritual enslavement calls on you, because that is what serves this society the best, the most. It craves for you to come back. You gotta, I think about it in such a deep way. Like, you know what I'm saying? In a time where people were physically enslaved, if they were to run away, even if they were trying to, like, even if they reflected some type of change, they were physically harmed. They were physically brought back in, right? There has been a form of that. Everything has been transforming since then. Physical enslavement, mental enslavement, emotional enslavement, spiritual enslavement. Everything that we do sort of reflects those time periods. It's just that we do them in different ways, right? So in time periods where we were physically enslaved, or whatever, under colonization, regardless of what culture and background you come from. There's just, even when I was watching Bridgerton, they had a sort of cultural enslavement where they couldn't do things outside of the range of what society accepted, or they would be snubbed, ignored. And ignoring means like you're out on your ass, done. Like it don't matter if you had money, it don't matter, none of that. Like culturally, you're not invited, you're not accepted. And that's the same energy that has been used to make us feel ways about really following our path, that fear of being unaccepted. And there's a true freedom in just choosing you and who you are and what resonates with you. Nobody knows your path like you do. You get what I'm saying? So, 27 is Be Free. So this is a card, the Be Free card. I love this card. Isn't it beautiful? It's beautiful. So 27, Be Free. Freedom, free will, self-determination, angel, Taurus, angel of self-determination. Freedom has many tongue-tied. Freedom has many meanings to many people. However, this card is about mental, emotional, and spiritual freedom. I've never gotten this card before. I does this. This is does. It is does. Many of us feel trapped in society, fearful of saying, doing, and even feeling what is trying to express itself. Tabruz helps you learn to let go of the conditioning, the control, and the boundaries that have been imposed on your free will. Your true self, the expression of your unique gifts, must be set free and allowed to expand and grow. By honoring what is in your heart, you are able to live your life fully, exploring the wonders of your heart and your imagination. This leads to a full life in which both opportunities and challenges become means for you to grow and express yourself even further. When you are able to fully express yourself without fear or shame, you empower others to do the same. The angels ask, do you feel trapped in the circle of life, unable to express yourself? I'm telling you, this is me coming from a standpoint as a Black woman. All of that conditioning that was used to control our ancestors still exists within us, and it still exists within our society. As someone whose home country was a victim of colonization, and I also understand that it's different here, real different. The colonization on this land is different, and there's a certain, so there's social constructs that have been developed that keeps us so stuck in certain patterns and archetypes. Like, yeah, it's just something to understand and remain conscious and compassionate towards. People project, and that just is what it is. Everything comes from our conditioning, and I used to be very reactionary to things, and I realized at the end of the day, there's a deeper conditioning, and being that I have this ability to see it, I need to, well, not accept it, I need to be more understanding. I need to do the work to understand it more, regardless of how I respond to it. I just don't want to react to it. I don't want to come from a space of emotions and react, and just understand the freedom that I must embody and let it be what it is. Do you allow others to freely express their hopes, dreams, and feelings? Tell yourself, I am free to express myself in all aspects of life. I allow others to find their own freedom of expression. Like, people are going through their own cycles, their own, you get what I'm saying? Like, I know that I've been harsh at times. I've definitely been harsh. While I don't regret some harshness to me, I don't regret sometimes, but I have been harsh and not like responding better or responding in a healthier way, just reacting. I'd be tired of reacting. My freedom, nobody has power over my freedom. And I feel like sometimes I've treated things as if it was so, as if people did have power over that. I've always craved to be free. And I have to understand that that isn't necessarily the same hope and dream other people have. And I cannot project that either. So, yes. 34, kindness. Ah, the nail broke. No. They're press-ons, so it was bound to break at some point. Um, kindness. Kindness giving beauty. Hael, angel of kindness. A kind word, gesture, or even a simple smile cost us nothing, yet we often withhold these simple acts of kindness. So often, giving and sharing things of beauty with others comes with expectations of what we will receive in return. Small things done on the spur of the moment without thought for thanks or anything in return brings us back a sense of community, a sense of acknowledgement of another person through very little effort at all. Perhaps you have been on the receiving end of such kindness and can remember how it brought a smile to your heart and a light to your day. Hael asks you to show your appreciation to friends, family, strangers, and random acts of kindness. The angels ask, are you kind to your fellow humans and animals alike? Do you share and receive kindness with a grateful, loving heart? Tell yourself, I brighten the lives of others through simple acts of random kindness. I show kindness and respect for all living beings. My goal, I'm going to tell a story about what happened to me last night because I feel like it's relevant. But my goal is really to show up in love. Like, I really want to show up as me. And sometimes my love means I'm going to curse you out. And I have no issue with that. I I have no issue. But if I can make a better choice, I would. So like, I say that to say, like, last night I was out, I'm really myself. I'll be colorful down, having a good time. I'm lit. And I got pushed. And the girl looked back to see me react because she knew she pushed me on purpose. And I knew she pushed me on purpose. And I felt it. And I just danced and smiled and sang behind her, sang to her and her friend. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like things are less serious if I make it less serious. Things don't hit me as such if I don't let it hit me as such, right? Like, I'm starting to understand like the depth of what would make people do things like that. And even if I didn't need to understand it, I want to understand how I react to it. So the depths of what would make people act like that, it has nothing to do with me. So if it has nothing to do with me, I don't have to make it about me. I can just respond in a way that makes me happy. And I'm an unserious person. I'm lit. I'm unserious. I want to show up as me. I sang and I danced. Yeah, so it was fun. I was just like, okay. And it triggers them in their own way. Like, you figure out how to deal with that at that point. I'm not accepting it. So that was something that had happened. And that's how I feel like, again, when I say like compassionate, there's certain cycles, things happen. You get what I'm saying? There's so much depth to the things that happen that at the end of the day, a lot of things don't concern me. If it did, it would be known. It would be just I would know. And I feel like I know when I reach my limit. I really do. I know when I reach my limit. I only reach my limit if someone wants to make it about me. But again, I used to take too much things on. And at the end of the day, the only thing I can do is move through shifts and cycles in my own way and search for my own freedom. I can't control how other people feel about that. Like, I feel like my journey or what I want to do when it comes to coming on here and speaking, my intentions for it is to just show up and say what I have to say and feel how I feel, and how you react to it, respond to it, what you do with it is really no concern to me. It's not no concern to me. I'm coming here, I'm being authentic, and I just want people to take with it what they will. I'm free. And if you're searching for freedom, like, I'll tell you how I freed myself. And the only thing you do is just react, respond, You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do that for you. I can only tell you about me, show up as me. That's what it is in any environment, in any way that I show up. If it's in creation, I can only show up as me and just allow my creations to be received how it must. There's people who like things I make and there's people who don't. And I have to accept that. I feel like there's so many times we try to make people feel what we feel, understand what we understand. I've done that. And it just don't work because there's so much depth to why something is happening. So yeah. So then we have 32, check your emotions. Check your emotions. Emotions, sensitivity, passion, angel Muriel, angel of emotions. We are very emotional beings and can easily let our feelings get the better of us. Learning to check your emotions does not mean that you must not allow spontaneous feelings to arise. Again, if I have to curse you out, I will. Spontaneous feelings to arise, but rather to ensure that they are appropriate for the situation and are thoughtful responses rather than emotional reactions. Always be genuine in expressing your emotions, but do not resort to hurting others in the heat of the moment. Yeah. Allowing others to the freedom to express their emotions builds trust and respect. Negative emotions, negative, it's in quotations for a reason. Negative emotions, such as anger, should be allowed expression as much as joy and excitement, right? However, these heavier emotions need to be released in a careful manner. Finding the balance is not easy, but will be beneficial for all in the long run. This message, it all flowed how it must. I'm telling you, like, emotional control is something I've had to learn. Emotional control isn't something I knew. Honestly, at points I was emotionally bottling until I imploded and then I'll explode. Like, I will implode first and now everything spills out in just this really reactionary way because I've been boiling, right? So I've had to learn through making my own mistakes, like how to have emotional control. Because at the end of the day, um, things don't be about me. Like when I'm angry, I have all right to be angry. And again, when I say curse you out, I will. And I have no issue. Well, I don't really curse people out. I would say like if I'm in a argument with somebody, I try my best not to yell, but like if someone's just pushing me to that point, I'm gonna give you a good I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit. I'll do great. I'll give like a good that and then figure it out from there. But for the most part, I try my best to just chill out. Like, and from those moments, I've also learned how to chill out more, you know? It's not easy, but will be beneficial in the long run. It's not easy. That is really not. Because when you find emotional control or you're finding like emotional intelligence, when you're raising that in yourself, people test you more or like people come into your path and do more. Or sometimes similar things happen just so you can feel it, like just so you can really understand it. Like you got to just let it happen and you just figure it out from there. Tell yourself, I always, the angels ask, do you react to situations without considering the outcome? Do you allow yourself to be hurt by situations where emotions run out of control? Tell yourself, I always respond to situations with compassion and understanding. I do not let my feelings get in the way of doing and saying what is right. So, yeah. Listen, we only human and we all learning this shit for the first time. I don't know if you believe in past lives or not. That's beyond. Like people believe what they believe, right? But I believe we doing this for the first time. We all just spirit in a body, figuring this life out over and over and over. That's how I feel. I don't think about it like past lives. I believe we all just one with source, and I'm you, you me. You have your experiences. I have my experiences. we come together for a certain time, or we cross paths, and we control that interaction, right? So again, like when I think about last night, if I would have met it with the energy that she was trying to give me, I would have had a bad night. I was like, uh, uh, yeah, yeah, because like, what am I to do? Like, things be beyond me. I know me. I know the life I live. I know what I like. I know, people project their own shit. You gotta just let them. That's so out of my control. But that reaction may have changed the course of her life. I don't know. Shit happens. I've definitely had moments that have changed my life, and I will never forget it. And they probably don't think of it as so deep. But there was this one time I was with my ex-boyfriend and his sister, and I was not happy at that time. I was so unhappy at that time. I was so unhappy with myself, with the things I was experiencing. I was just unhappy. His sister, I kept bumping into her. Every time I bumped into her, I would say sorry. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just kept saying sorry. She turned to me. She said, if you keep saying I'm sorry, you don't love yourself. Like, people who don't. Well, she said it in such a way. She said it in this way that I just knew she was talking to me, but she didn't want to be direct with it because it would have hurt my feelings. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. I do the same thing. I get it. So she was like, when people keep saying so I'm sorry like that, is they don't love themselves, because why are you not taking up space? She said it something like that, like something similar to that. And I sat in that car. I was like holding back tears because that hit me so hard. I needed it. And I will always be thankful for her for that moment. I will always be grateful for her for that moment. I needed to hear that. I was not upset. I needed it. And that shit hit me because, bitch, it was true. It was so true. It was so true at that time. I really did not love myself. I did not. Like, everything was a reflection of that. Everything was a reflection of that. And when things ended, I truly saw how much of a reflection of it was, because I was begging, please take me back. Why did you break up with me? Please. Oh my God. Oh, me today is just, I look back and I'm like, damn, girl. Damn, girl. Yeah. So our interactions with each other do break situations. And at the time, I probably wasn't processing the way I needed to, but today I'm so grateful. I feel like that changed my trajectory for real. I had that shit was ringing in my ear multiple times. It still do to this day. Keep saying I'm sorry. There's nothing to be sorry about. And now I don't really say. I mean, I say sorry if I'm sorry, but if I'm not saying it. Like, I just, I feel like I've learned how to use that, because that's a powerful energy, right? Apologizing, asking for forgiveness, like, you don't want to use that willy-nilly because it loses its power. So I'm like, I'm not gonna, like, now when I say sorry, I have to really mean it, like, truly. So I was like, I needed that. I really do. I call back to it all the time. She was a bad bitch, like, for real. I needed to meet his sister. Everything that had happened that way happened so I could meet his sister and hear that. So, Sam Sensi Sessions, court adjourned. Please come back.